To about 15 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock, and that means it's time to welcome all of our listeners to Vision Talk, our monthly discussion with Vision Bermuda, formerly the Bermuda Society for the Blind. And we have a great guest in studio with us today. It's just nice to have guests in studio. So we're glad that that is possible again. We're welcoming Patti-Jean Roberts, who is a teacher of students with visual impairments. Patti-Jean, welcome to Vision Talk.
Well, good evening, Shelley, and to your listening audience.
It's so good to have you here. Heard lots of great stories, testimonials, really, from people that you have helped or the relatives of those you have helped. So why don't we start with you introducing yourself properly and with what your official title is and maybe how you came to be in the profession that you're in.
Okay. Well, I work in the public school system, and I work with students preschool to senior school. And I got into this profession in a kind of roundabout way. Mm-hmm. I was actually finishing a degree in something else. Okay. And this is a second career, in other words.
Gotcha.
You know, I ended up getting into it by, I had a young lady in my nursery some years back, and she attended my church, so I worked with her a bit. And then my dad used to volunteer at Vision Bermuda, Bermuda Society for the Blind at that time. Mm-hmm. And so I used to help him out a bit. And when I started in the public school system, as I mentioned, I was finishing a degree, and then I went to a professional development, and I absolutely loved it. It was orientation and mobility. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I had got the opportunity to put on a blindfold and to work with a cane and things like that. And that was the clincher for me. Sure. As I was in the system, I was being encouraged to do it, you know, to be a teacher for students with visual impairment. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, but once I did that O&M, it sealed the deal.
Yeah, it sealed the deal for you.
It sealed the deal.
So had you planned to teach as your initial career or be involved in education, as you said, and then, you know, through just sort of happenstance. So your dad was doing what he was doing, and it exposed you to other things that were going on around it. And, you know, there you have it. Bada bing, bada boom, as they say. Right?
Yeah.
You found this career. And, you know, so what did it entail sort of taking what you were doing and having that pivot to go in the direction to become? So what is the qualifications that come along with doing what you do?
Well, for me, I had to go back and do orientation and mobility, which is a 2-year degree, and you get your certification.
Gotcha.
Because my initial degree was not in education, I had to do another 2 years for TVI, which also encompasses a special ed. I have a certification for special ed.
Gotcha.
But having to go back to do the TVI part, the Teacher of Students with Visual Impairment, TVI, that was also a special ed degree. So... Gotcha. Yeah.
You invested a whole lot more time and effort into this.
A lot of extra time because I didn't go the direct route.
Gotcha. Yeah. But you got there.
I got there.
And you've been working along with the organization for how long now then?
What do you mean, the Ministry of Education?
No, along with teaching and with Vision Bermuda.
With Vision Bermuda? Oh, I've been volunteering at Vision Bermuda for many years. Okay. Steady for the last, I want to say, 6 years. Okay. But off and on with my dad throughout, you know, my lifetime.
Through your whole life?
Yeah, since a teen. I used to help out with my dad.
Yeah, it was quite a different sort of setup for what our visually impaired people were taught to do and stuff. Beacon House is, gosh, I'm a Happy Valley girl, so I can remember many a day walking downtown. You come down Donald Street and you just end up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Cedar Avenue. But so let's talk a little bit about exactly sort of what your day-to-day sort of life is working with students. Like how spread out are you in the system right now with students that do have some impairment?
Well, right now I'm spread out quite a bit because before there were 3 of us, then there were 2, and now it's just me. And so I have to service all of the students. And, of course, I'm an itinerant teacher, meaning I'm driving from school to school, but I enjoy what I do, so it's not a problem. And traveling about, that's how we came up with the topic for today.
Gotcha.
Often people will come up to me and say, oh, I saw someone walking